All right, g'day everyone. Welcome to ozfortress Season 26, Week 5. Here on TF Live, we are bringing you the game between Coffee Clock and Ratmen. With me on my co-caster tonight is Elmo, and on cam is Core. How you doing tonight, Elmo?
Feeling pretty good about this one. This should probably be the best game we've casted. I think, apart from my team versus Varna team or versus the Ratmen, which was pretty cringe, this is probably the closest game that will be casted so far. So it should be a good one.
Yeah, now this is top 2 this season as of right now, isn't it?
It should be, yeah. Coffee Clock basically haven't. This is like the first top 4 team, like expected top 4 team they've versed. Well, yeah, I think Ratmen have just beaten us. So yeah, top 2 at the moment.
Yeah, so I'm looking forward to some like really close gameplay. But there has been some shuffles in some of these rosters recently. So let's actually start by talking about the Coffee Clock roster because that's the most interesting one. How do you take us down that one, Elmo?
Yeah, so main thing, if fans of Coffee Clock would have noticed, is Wright has gone for undisclosed reasons, but that's all right. So that they've picked up Arnold on medic, obviously fairly long time Pren medic. I think he's won or he's come second a couple of times. So
Yeah, he won with the Source, right?
yeah, that's what I thought. I thought he
Season
was on my
20
team.
something.
Should know that one. Yeah, and then second the next season. So he's a pretty strong medic. And then so Down's gone to Roma, which I don't know how much Prem Roma he's played, but he's a beast in pugs, and he had some pretty good games against the Asia land team. So expecting big things from him. And then the other main thing is Cookie's given up on his flank scout dreams, which is probably a good plan. And he's gone back to where he beasted Prem, back onto the pocket scout, and then Yui's gone to flank scout, which I think it'll work out well for them. Yui can just pound with his DM while Cookie can lead the team.
Yeah, I agree, and I think, of course, Yule bringing up the last player on that roster playing pocket for us tonight. But yeah, Cookie is
Yeah,
known
and
for his
Redcoat
pocket
demo.
scout. Oh yeah, and Redcoat
But yeah,
demo.
they
We
haven't
did
changed.
forget
They've been
someone.
there for probably like 4 seasons or 3 or 4. Everyone knows
Yeah,
about.
playing pretty well together. But yeah, so Down was medic at the start of this season, and he's made his shift to Roma. Like as you say, he is quite a good player. This has he ever played soldier in Prem? Do you know?
Yeah, that's what He swaps classes a lot. I know he was scout for a couple of seasons. Obviously, he was starting as medic. So I don't think he's played it like when in this team or in like a top team like the Hertz team. I don't think he'll do any worse than his counterparts as the season goes on.
Yeah, and speaking of counterparts, we might just quickly go down the roster of the other team too. So on the Ratmen, we have the two Asia Fortress scouts in TJ and Aisho, both very well known for their DM. Aisho on flank, I believe, and
No,
TJ on pop.
Ishu should be pocket. I mean, I'm pretty
Oh,
sure they just
really?
do what that. Yeah, they just he pocket scouts for the land team and beats it up like 30 frag, big D,
Yeah,
30% heal. So
Aisho's aim is like pretty nuts. Like
and that
he's yeah. But it's
DM
I
beast.
haven't really seen TJ play with like less than 20% heals in a long time, so that'll be interesting to see.
Yeah, he doesn't. They play what they call this float scout. So it's basically kind of just they can swap out if need be, rather than being like a traditional play aggro kind of flank holding scout.
Yeah, I guess it kind of makes sense with this scout heavy meta anyway. But I'm sure we'll see it in action later on tonight. I believe Fane is playing Pocket, and Shupa playing Roma, both
Yeah, well,
very capable soldiers.
just on that point as well, that means Fane doesn't really, like you said, with the scout heavy meta, basically isn't a pocket either. He's basically just baby Roma, like he does as much bombing and
Yeah, I think
jumping at
Fane
people.
Fane does like play that style very well though. He's like a very like selfless Pocket in that he'll be always like jumping in to try to make that space. I mean, how well it works kind of changes, but he is quite a forward player as well. So hopefully we'll see some good action from both soldiers here because Shupa is, not one to stay behind either.
Hmm.
Then Deft on Demo Man, he's played a lot, Deft. Hopefully his almonds are activated tonight and he'll go pretty hard. And then rounding up is Vana on Medic. Now Vana has played Medic a long time ago, but this is his first
Yeah,
time on
he's
Medic in quite
best
a
man at
while.
Prem when him and Putty pounded Brute back in season 12 or 13 or something.
Yeah, it's been a while. So how's he adapting back to the role with the new
I
scout
mean,
meta now?
I think he's fairly solid. Thing is, so today's drinking game, guys, is take a shot whenever Varner gets a crossbow kill because he loves that shit. Like he's gonna spend all game crossbowing. That's the main issue. He just can't help himself.
It's
But
the
apart from that,
fun
though, he's
part,
solid.
man.
Yeah, that's
Otherwise,
fair.
you're just the heal bot.
Yeah, so and then yeah,
Whereas,
Deft
yeah,
as well this season has been like most people out of Enrith, Redcoat, and Paulson would say Deft is probably the weakest demo, but he's been showing up.
yeah, I feel that Deft has been having a consistency issue in the last few seasons, but this season, I mean, I've only casted one game this season, but I've watched a couple of others, and Deft is like when he's on, he's really on this season. I think this is a season that he's like really showing what he can do.
Yeah, I just mean from personal experience in scrims, it's like he doesn't feel like the weak point, which is if you just went at the start of the season, you would probably pinpoint him or Varna Medic as the
Yeah,
weak point, but it
definitely.
doesn't really feels like that.
Yeah, I mean, so top two teams, as you say, this is the first time that they've seen each other. Have Coffee Clock been scrimming much with their changed roster? Do you know?
I think they scrimmed yesterday against the Hertz team, but like only on the only result I remember is the new map, which they destroyed the Hertz team, but no one had any idea what they were
Yes, I
doing.
guess we'll
And
talk about
we've
that in
gone
a
live.
second. Yeah, we are live on Process, which is our first map, and Deft is arriving to mid just about the same time as Redcoat here, just exchanging some sticky spam across point right now, as Down has opted to roll out through his sewer just to take that high pack, spam him out. Deft is actually taken down quite low, has to get that pack now. Scout's taking the high ground across point, no soldier aggression as of yet. This feels like a very safe mid where they're all just kind of feeling each other out right now. Deft is actually, just standing there reloading, as is Redcoat. They're not really doing too much. There comes the bombs right now. Fane in, Shupa in. Oh, some big damage from Fane, but I show Deft and Fane all fall to the counter aggression from the scouts and soldiers on Coffee Clock. Oh, Shupa nearly gets in, gets something there, but unfortunately does die, but TJ does get his med out successfully. They're all the way back to last with full Uber already. Those chasing players really aggressive on second, but it looks like there's nothing going right now. They're actually managing to chase this all the way to last. Yule is so deep in their own, dies there behind them. Down is going in too, takes down Deft, but does actually manage to fall he does fall. He dies. That's what I meant to say.
Arnold drops, I think that was. I'm assuming it
Oh
was
no.
right at the end there.
Yeah, he definitely had Uber. That is a big drop. I didn't quite see what was
He
happening.
basically was just low, and then a scout turned the corner and did a couple like 10 damage shots. It looked like.
Oh, that's
And
rough.
then that should just be a walk into mid for free.
Yeah, they do cap that second instantly.
Cookie is on the sniper there.
Yeah, I mean, I guess apart from some word spaghetti that'll ruin any kind of highlight that people try to make of that moment, I guess time to sort of relay what happened on that mid as we sort of push in.
Death gets body shot.
Yeah, Vina not committing, spamming those arrows, as you say, and they do choose to actually not push this with their demo down, going back. Now we can talk about mid. What did you see on mid, Elmo?
The bombs kind of whiffed from Ratman. The whole team basically just pushed left. Like Yui went hard at Deft, and then Aishu got kind of smashed on the blue crate. And then, or was it red crate? I think it was red crate. And then one of the soldiers kind of landed on the floor, so he did nothing. And the other one kind of whiffed. So it's basically just that their counter bomb failed, and then they got ran over. Yeah, it was a really passive mid. Like I wouldn't be surprised if we saw a lot of that. Just like both passive mids trying to like rely on their scouts being better than the other team.
I think there's a lot of respect going on here. Fane gets spotted out in trying to gremlin in that sewer area as they are starting to finally make a move, trying to feel each other out on this second point. Trying to take sewer, looks like, from red team here. Fane's trying to play a little bit aggressive, does opt to back out there. The sniper in Cookie is taking some pot shots out of that sewer area right now. Spammed a little bit. Fane is actually committing really hard for that. Takes a lot of damage, has to back all the way off. And this suicide area is being played by Cookie, but the Med in Varna is just playing so safe behind this second point. It's going to be really hard for Cookie to get an angle on anything, unfortunately.
Yeah, the thing is, this spot's really safe for Varna. Like, you should never get sniped here, but if this wasn't like the 3rd minute of an official game, they would probably just walk in here and like actually go for something. But Aishu's just walked in behind. He should get smashed, which he does. And now they should just like walk in and trade if they need to, and then let Cookie clean up at the
here
end.
it is. This Cookie
Fane,
is playing really aggressive. Fane jumps forward, sees if he can get anything. That's one really nice rocket, but unfortunately no
Otherwise,
follow-up.
Shooper's in as well. He might get the sniper, but he's going to get cleaned up too. Oh,
there's a lot of beef.
Out.
Oh my
Yeah,
god.
Def frags Yui though, and they have no scout now.
Yeah,
somehow
it's just
no one's
TJ, and this
yet.
sniper, like, Varner is forced to this sniper here. They're trying to trade through choke, but Arnold is, like, big dick in this pretty hard. Finally actually uses to, like, no damage there. That was a...
Yeah, no scout, no demo, Yule's out of ammo, and the sniper, not really much they can do.
Yeah,
it's a pretty
and here
good
comes
bomb.
the deep
Wow, you
bomb
got rope
from Fane.
destroyed.
Yeah, the sniper is still up right now. Doesn't actually do anything. That's Varner finishing off Yule. I think that was an arrow that caught him mid-air. So some really low health on Arnold though as well. He's trying to back out here. Yui does clean up that last player jumping forward, but they're still 3 down, and this is looks like a position where they're trying to force it through choke here.
Yeah, they are 2 down though. This is a bit hopeful, and Yule's going to absolutely pounce, but he will get cleaned up. Def does die for it, so that's probably worth it if they kill
And
TJ.
yeah, there you go. So this looks like this push has failed a little bit, and they are choosing to back out of mid. Aisho is kind of close. Looks like he might want to fight it. No, there we go.
Demo ad, but they still kind of need to get kills here, because otherwise...
Yeah, Super gets taken super low, and there's some scout DM going on, but like, these soldiers just jump and get like absolutely crushed by these scouts, like scout class in 2019, man.
Ratman literally don't have to do anything here. Varna should have Uber, yeah, he gets pretty low but does force in the end. And now, yeah, Coffee Clock. Redcoat gets abandoned a bit, and now they'll chase hard. Def
the aggressive def jump, yeah, he definitely dies there. That was a questionable jump by him.
Down is going to get killed by Shooper though, so Yui's going to chase, but this has to be a runaway from Coffee Clock.
Yeah, if Yui should die on the flank by Aishu, but he does manage to take one with him. This point gets capped really quick. Looks like they're not opting to play super aggro in trying to get that into last. While any players are down, they're just going to play their ad here. It's pretty tight ad, but it looks like that's what their plan is.
Yeah, I think that kind of just was basically bitch play from Coffee Clock that led to all that. Like that second play with the sniper, I don't see why you need to just like either sack and run away or like actually man up. You had 5v6 with the sniper ad, their whole team was really far away. Just like walk in and win the fight. Like I don't think they need a... Like they literally gave down no support, he just jumped in and instantly got scout vaporized. And then basically got pushed into a shit Uber when they could have just like dictated the Ubers themselves and given Cookie heaps and heaps of room to shoot.
Yeah, speaking of which, looks like they're just trying to take lobby for their sniper here, and Aisho on sniper, but TJ and Shupa both get caught out as they try to do so. And there was a sniper on Yui at one point, but that's actually changed as this big Cookie Uber is coming in behind. They do force it off on Varna just to save Def there. Fane gets flashed right at the end. Unfortunately, Arnold does not die. He takes one nice rocket, but that's about it. Looks like Fane is getting caught in door 1 by Cookie. Yui does get taken out though, and Aisho hits a really nice shot onto Redcoat just there.
Yeah.
Yeah, unfortunately they're 3 down, and this fight does seem to have gone the way of blue team. Shupa takes out Yule, down is low. Arnold can't hit that arrow while he's surfing. Too little too late, and yeah, there we go. Point gets capped out by by Ratman.
Yeah, well, when they had the one player ad, they tried to use that to get a good trade, but it was basically like Cookie kind of got a late force, so... And then Yui kind of got left out to dry, and then they just got spawners, and you basically saw what happened. Redco got sniped running away, Down got caught running away, and just lost essentially. Just got outnumbered in the end.
Yeah, we do head into our next mid right now. Deft and Redcoat both identically mirroring their rollouts, getting there at exactly the same time, and their first 2 stickies were actually perfectly in sync as well. That's the kind of game we're on here, I think, tonight. But we do see quite a lot of damage being traded a lot. Varna is actually taken down kind of low. It looks like blue team wants to take Fade out of this point already. Yeah, Fane and Aisho do lose their life, and Chupa, really late death from him as he tries to get something, but unfortunately nothing going for him there, and they opted to leave really early just as those 2 frags fell.
Here. He's in door 2. It'd be kind of difficult with where they are. They are just walking in.
They're all in door 2. That's 5 players through door 2 right now.
They literally haven't started capping though, so Fane's just gonna go behind, block second. He does kill down at least.
Yeah, there's a little bit of a trade there. Redcoat taking some chip damage in one. Looks like actually he may lose this duel to Aisho. Aisho does not quite finish him off though. Redcoat does leave with his life. And the soldier is in. Shupa gets mega owned.
They're still going for this though for some reason. Vana's really far forward.
Oh, they dropped Cookie.
Cookie's not going to be happy about that one.
Vana doesn't even use. Yui's behind. Yeah, he does get caught out. But yeah. They managed to get a lot of time on that cap point though, and it looks like the soldier in down is going to force this Uber off. Vana super low. Oh, long penis. Not using that Uber.
Not going to use. It's the team's fault if he dies, but survives on 12, I think it was, and now they should have a full Uber basically into second.
Yeah, it looks like they're not even
they
contesting
can't do anything.
Yeah.
They started well again though. Like they won the mid. Aishu basically kind of got a bit abandoned on the right side, and Cookie just rushed and killed him. Yul kills Aishu though. Good start.
This is a big jump from down. Gets the force. Yeah, that's a really nice play from down. Does
Def?
Yeah, Def does lose his life. He does that trademark sort of jump here, and Redcoat is actually trying to do something similar. Nice rocket from Fane onto Yui, but unfortunately Cookie does take him out, and now there's just 3 players alive.
Cookie got fucked! Yeah, Cookie actually got double directed from height. He will not be pleased. This is
Vana caught in. Vana looks like he's gonna die. Yeah, Vana definitely caught down super low. Looks like he's gonna lose his life. But now it's just Arnold spawning up by himself. That was a pretty messy fight. Lots of people sacking for Vana. Eventually he does go down, which is what they needed. Down 2 down, I guess there too.
Yeah, Vana probably didn't need to die there, and that would have been pretty good. Like they should have been. They were pretty happy with that, apart from Def killing Arnold. Like they probably would have taken that and just held second again.
Yeah, I think Vana just getting caught in choke there triggered the kind of the call from, I assume, Redcoat saying, well, he's fucked in choke. Come on, get him.
They would have been in a lot of trouble though. They would have lost second and had the disad anyway. So it's probably worth just everyone YOLO at the end there.
Yeah, now Arnold on about 30% Uberad, 40% Uberad, as they do come up to this in the next couple of seconds. No off-classes, shenanigans in terms of sniper or whatever. Yule jumping forward, taking this Uber. It looks like they're not even contesting. Aisho keeps taking so much damage in these chokes.
Yeah, that's like bit disappointing. Like a bit of a bitch move. They don't even try for the force. Like with their own Uber. Oh, actually, is that Shupa in a corner? And Yule, turn around, Yule! Turn around! Oh, Redcoat's gonna die here. Oh no, he choked. Yeah, Shupa goes for the kind of direct, misses. Pretty unfortunate for him.
The Uber actually gets used on Vana there, yeah. Down jumping through. Fane jumping really aggressively forward, seeing if he can get anything. Actually gets out with his life there though through sewer, but that's not much to get away with, as they unfortunately are now facing this full Uber disad. They're pushing it in through the sewer area, and there's so much ground being taken, high ground from Cookie as they're walking forwards. Arnold is in no danger of being forced here. They take this mid for free, all pushed out all the way onto their own second. Looks like they're trying to use it aggressively too. The Redcoat jump, Vana is so low. Redcoat does get dropped, as unfortunately Arnold can't get charioted to him quite enough. Vana does survive that despite taking quite a bit of damage there. Yule is in the gremlin position to take them as they go through choke. He's actually opting not to jump the combo there and leaving that to Down, who gets absolutely vaporized by 2 scouts. Cookie looks like he may get caught in this choke area though. He's taken down super low, does actually manage to get out, and this point has flip-flopped really quickly again, Elmo.
Yeah, the thing is with Vana, like he might seem like an aggro retard a lot of the time, but with Medic he literally stands probably the most far back of everyone. Like you have to wait forever if you want to bomb him and get him generally. Like he was like basically by himself behind choke. Like if someone was behind he would have died, and they've Ubered in 2 here. TJ dies.
Looks like Down's trying to stop the point behind as well while this Uber is going on. Unfortunately, doesn't happen. The jump from Fane onto Arnold, unfortunately, nothing happening, and the Yui Putis is shutting everything down. Fane, Aisho, both losing their life pretty late there. They're all falling back around this choke area. There's some stickies on the floor from some reason from depth there. I don't think anyone is going to stand on those, but they are taking this second point back pretty much for free. Stickies get dead. No one was standing on them.
Should be able to get
unexpected.
a free mid. Hopefully they see Shupa here. It's like the oldest trick in the book, that one. Yule might die for this. Should live if Arnold arrows him, which he misses, but it should be right. So
yeah, and nothing going. They do opt to back out there. The Shupa death is all they get, and this full Uber.
Still. Not going to even wait for the cap. Fane, ready to bomb? No.
Yeah, I mean, it's 20%. If they think they can catch Varna here, then it's worth. But, you know, Varna is all the way out one. Looks like the Uber's even out right now. Yeah, nothing going.
You'll take that. You got 2 points for free. Shupa might go for a play here. I mean, they should be kind of wary of that if they don't see him. Yeah.
Yeah,
no,
they
standing
smell
there.
him,
He
dude, yeah.
gets lucky, survives on like 5 health. And Yui might kill Def. No, gets piped in the end.
Oh, nice pipe, yeah. Aisho up on the heavy. We do see Engineer coming up. Aisho actually swapping to Sniper right now, real to have a quick peek. I reckon they're gonna wait and see. I assume Yui's gonna come up some kind of off class here too.
Yeah,
His sniping at the Logjam week last season was insane. I'm really keen. On Spy right now, seems to just be checking in spawn to see if there's any shenanigans. Probably gonna come up Sniper in the very end though.
Imagine wasting time to check off classes for the defending team.
Yeah, he does change to Sniper in the end. Aisho doing the same thing in spawn, just checking on Spy right now. But I guess he can tell them that they have an Engineer too now. Actually, Aisho committed on Spy.
Oh, did he? Yeah. He's literally just standing at last. Like,
yeah.
He's disguised. It's literally like brain place. Thinks they're a sniper and then he's gonna go sneak out and kill Arnold. I really like this gun position from TJ. It basically just stops any bombs at all.
Yeah, and it's not so passive that you have to cross the corner before you like hit it, but it is, yeah, it's a good spot.
Yeah, like you.
Oh my god, he gets Arnold. He does it.
I shoot big brain, sees the sniper and then just walks in, and Yule dies to a trap somehow.
Yui and Yule both die to that same trap as well. Redcoat dies too. Looks like Down's gonna... no, he actually manages to get out on such low health here. Cookie leaving last player. The sniper in Yui.
Utter collapse just from the Spy.
Yeah, really well played.
Big brain. That's an Al kind of 15 play. That was all the rage, I think.
Yeah.
You would pretend to be a sniper and then go stab someone.
They are taking this through PC right now, and they use really early, and they get nothing pretty much. Super dies, Yui traded out, and there is down trying to...
Nice shot. Destroys TJ in the end. So this should be a fight, yeah.
Yeah, here is definitely a fight. Yule is in a really good spot. Unfortunately, he does die. Yeah, that was some really big damage from him before he manages to fall out, though.
Nice pipe
Fane runs out of ammunition.
Does get arrowed, but I should might get cleaned here.
He has more health than Cookie. He can smell Cookie's low.
Cookie wants to, yeah.
Oh my god, he gets Varna. Yeah, that's big.
Cookie was big dicking to try and bait him in, and then waiting for that Uber to go crush Varna because he knew Varna would stay to help Aishu. Shupa is behind though.
He's into 2 players. He gets Yui, but unfortunately nothing else. This point does fall. 2 players down and full Uber ad on the side of Arnold, so they're ready to push this into last. Is this Coffee Clock's first full ad push onto last? This is going to be interesting.
Yeah, they shouldn't get spied here. There shouldn't be time. It'll just be interesting to see what they do, just because that last one from Rightman was completely wasted. They basically went door 1 and then spent the whole Uber shooting Yui, who was a heavy in a spawn door, and he just walked away. And then they just had to back because they were getting crushed because they had no Uber. Looks like
Varna
Down and Yui are in one.
Very close. Varna's actually at about 80%, but they're playing the point and no one's stopping them. Fane jumps in the end, but a nice flash keeps Cookie alive. Cookie does die right in the end, but the soldiers now coming in. Big collapse. TJ just the last one trying to do what he can. Unfortunately loses his life, and that evens us up on 1-1 here, Elmo.
Yeah, I mean that's kind of what you should do. Get the gun and cap the point. It's generally the best strategy because most teams kind of their thing is run around either top or into spawn while the Uber's on. So if you just have one person capping, you're gonna win. Cookie
Yeah,
probably would have
Cookie
won
got
that as well,
so
I
much
reckon,
cap
even
time.
without the
Yeah,
Uber,
but
if
yeah,
they just manned it.
these two demos arriving pretty much the same time again. Looks like we're setting ourselves into a very similar mid. Aisho is feeling fairly aggressive on this bridge. Soldier's just waiting for heals. Fane doing a little bit of a fake bomb. Super actually doing a big bomb. Does lose his life for it. Yule is playing really passive, but that does that. His rest of his team is wrapped all the way around. Redcoat
gets caught out.
Redcoat actually does get caught out. I was going to say he's really aggressive on the other side of his team. Yet yeah, Aisho does notice that and take him out. There is a player behind in 2. Down does get taken out behind. It looks like these players are evening out right now, but the point midpoint does fall to Coffee Clock here.
Yeah, I'm not really a fan of that extra aggression from Down that much because Redco was still dead. Aishu should get cleaned here. That's a really nice rocket from Yule. And TJ might die. He does get saved in the end. Cookie has done a really good kind of force here though. So if Shupa gets clean, they should clean this up easily and then be able to take second with the scout solely down.
Yeah, that was a really nice force the flash as well from Cookie. Cookie's really good at those Ubers.
That's basically what Cookie's best thing about Pocket Scout is every single he takes is normally pretty far.
Oh, he gets absolutely annihilated by Fane. That was a really nice rocket.
Cookie's been a bit of a rocket magnet this season. He's quite unlucky.
And yeah, TJ manages to bully them out of choke though as well while they're 2 down. And Down also dead as well. TJ, oh my god!
That was amazing. What a god.
Redcoat
literally went from no chance to holding to just the 2.
And yeah, just Deft and Varna leaving with their tail between their legs.
That's why you don't hold hands, basically.
That was ridiculous.
Shoot basically 2 pipes the same spot and they got absolutely decimated. Redcoat does die for that, but they'll take that 100%.
Oh my god, Down gets completely fucking anti-aired just then by those 2 scouts.
Down has been a bit unfortunate. He's got an anti-air pretty hard.
Yeah, and it's always hard jumping into 2 scouts, but I feel that wasn't necessarily the best time for it. They're going to be looking for it in that situation, and he just jumped straight into 2 scouts. You can't really do anything there as Roma. We do see some forward traps in lobby by Deft
this
doing
time
his...
Down a spy. TJ has activated pyro mode. He's prepared.
Looks like, yeah, Down was just checking in spawn. He does come out as Soldier there. That was a really nice rollout by him. But yeah, they are checking. TJ's trying to see if he can sniff him. He probably saw him in spawn checking and doesn't know any different, I guess.
Yeah, I feel like with this, if they're just going to hold like this, I think Sniper is the play. Because like they're not even holding lobby, they're just memeing with their gun on the point. You know, like if they had a Sniper, Varna kind of has to hug the wall. And then you can do a fat trade or something like that. Because look at Yule. If Yule's a sniper, it's like literally just team down. Or med kill or something at least. Yui is going to die to Fane though, which isn't great. I mean, it's still a bit hard. Both your scouts are on meme classes. Fane might get a buff to go out.
Yeah, it is true as well. Yeah, there's probably going to be some sort of counter sack from blue team, but like Yui's probably just sacking for sniper right there.
It's pretty slow now. He's just checking. Yeah, that's a bit silly.
There's still no off classes on the side of red team. Yui's actually still in spawn right now. He does finally go sniper.
He should go sniper. I literally don't see why
he wouldn't. He went for a second. Now he's checking again. Now
why
TJ's
do they
checking.
bother checking? I don't understand.
It's like this meta game, man. Like where they see the spy in spawn checking, and they think, oh, they have a spy, but then they don't have a spy because it's just some dude in spawn checking.
Yeah, Are they're literally just playing in spawn 5v5 because they're constantly swapping. I don't see the point. Red team gets nothing out of it. Like they could, you might die here. They literally could just take lobby, like. No one's near lobby, no one's watching lobby, there's some shit trap that'll get destroyed, hopefully. They just need to make sure that they don't get flanked here is the main thing. They have 5
That's
people
a
in
big
lobby.
angle 5 from Yui actually. TJ is on spy actually right now. He's committing pretty hard, but the door 5 is getting spammed really hard. He gets seen. Oh, he doesn't die.
Def gets the force, but Varna's dropped him. That's really bad. This is going to be heaps of room. Red
Yeah,
Coach, they should get the gun. I don't know where Yule died.
Yule
The
was
fuck?
behind them. That was really weird.
Okay,
Yule
that
was
was
like in panic
really
room.
poor from both teams. Redco was in door 5 by himself while Cookie and the med were still in lobby. And now Yui's just been left behind. Cookie should survive, yeah.
Yeah, and Yule's spawning up right now, so
But
it does look like they're getting...
That should have been really easy or fairly easy for Coffee Clock. If Redco was just with the team, like they could have just gone door 5, spammed that gun, and then it's like a 5e, or because TJ dies there.
Here comes the soldier. It's like, yeah, Yule gets deleted as well.
He actually gets anti. Down his minder, he should kill him here. Oh, he does, that's good. Cookie, they are cleaning up. No.
Yeah, down does, yeah. So, yeah, there's a little bit of a collapse right now. Unfortunately, nothing going on Arnold for Ratman there. Arnold does survive. This is full ad right now. Still 10 seconds on the spawn of Varna. And this is another opportunity for them to have a full ad push into last.
Yeah, I mean, the last one worked pretty well. It was just
Yui
that
is,
other one, Def got dropped and Varna used. So it was basically a 6v5. And then Ashu died as Yule died.
What Yui's plan is right now.
Where is he on?
He's on Pyro on offense. He gets flashed in the Uber. What is he?
They're just gonna knock people off point while Cookie caps. And
but he's not looking at the players who jumped the point.
He was looking at one.
Oh my god, down gets it. What?
He killed Fane just by spamming right click. I don't know. I'm not sure that was necessary. They could have just won, but
yeah, Shupa like jumped the point behind and killed like 2 players, 1 player capping or something like that. Well, yeah, it was weird. He should have just been scout.
Well, hey, it worked, so
yeah,
can't complain too much about the
Professor Arbender will tell you that that's the plan all
along. If it
works
once, then it's perfect. Just gonna double bomb this mid, kind of fake bomb.
Yeah, these fake bombs don't seem to be working too well for the blue team soldiers right now, because Fane and Shupa are both getting...
out here. There should be clean fat pipes from Redcoat. Yeah, that's the thing. They really like their fake bombs. Like, they destroyed us with it on Gully Wash. The difference is, on this map, you can actually dodge. So you can't...
Aisho and TJ are, like, committing hard to this fight.
TJ might get a kill here. He should get cleaned up, yeah. The thing, this map you can actually move, so you can't just fake bomb and do like 100 damage into the choke like on Gully. And then it's harder to survive as well when you run away, because he got chased really hard and died.
Yeah, because it's always like interesting seeing the blue soldiers on this mid will like curl around in the air and do like maybe 100 damage combined,
and
then like
so close because of the high
ground, so and then like they have nothing loaded to deal any other damage because they've used 3 rockets to jump.
So this I'm not sure what the plan is it not?
Yeah, about 40% ad, 30% ad on the side of Arnold right now.
This is my favorite hold. Varna is also on crits, so this is a meme, but the heavy top right with the medic is my favorite hold. They kind of just
crits for this post, yeah,
the heavy crits. Yui, he's just gonna cap. TJ can't heavy apparently. Doesn't hit a single crit shot. I mean, that's probably a bit harsh. He was behind the wall for most of it, but yeah, that was not the play. They're just not blocking the point. They were probably thinking, haha, we're gonna meme them hard with this epic crits, and then they forgot about actually doing that and just let them cap. And now used it too late.
Yeah, Down is he actually did the fast rollout there. Unfortunately, he got nothing on Deft, but that was like the first actual soldier bomb that we've really seen on these mids.
They might go aggro here. Varna's really low.
Yeah, it looks like here come the soldiers. Down is in behind. Down is getting completely deleted, but Yule is in such a nice spot. Good surf from Varna to stay alive. Yule gets caught out by both of those scouts, but it looks like they're going to be forced to back all the way out.
Yui goes huge. They're gonna get cleaned up here, but it's alright. Cookie's here and they can just run away with full ad. They can't really chase. And
Cookie wants this, man. He's gonna block this point. This is gonna be a big solo.
I mean, that's fine.
Oh, he gets both of them. They didn't even really need to use there. Looks like Fane doesn't get caught.
They know that Varna's still dead, so at worst it's even. And there's 2 minutes left, you're 2 rounds up. You basically just need to hold mid and not shit yourself here. Like, I don't even know why Down's going for a play. Like, at this point, you just never want to be dead. Like, if you're not dead, your team will win at this point. If you die, then the team might be able to 6v5 and then retard in. I don't get why they're even attacking, honestly.
Oh, the Roma special on flank there too. Yule and
Like,
Down
most
both
Solis
trade.
die there. Now they're going to take mid. It's like, why? A Bender would not be proud. You should have gone NG to that middle and held it.
the meta game, but yeah, it looks
Yui
like
is
red.
behind. He has wasted heaps. I mean, that they should win this anyway, just because the time's so low. And Yui wasted a lot of time. But it's like, I just don't know why you would risk it.
Yeah, it looks like Down's gonna lose his life. Actually, Down does survive, waits for the arrow from his medic. Yule steals his arrow from his medic. They're jumping around. I think, yeah, I feel that you're right. It is dead time
I mean,
right now.
it's impossible. But that was only because they played it real.
Definitely dead time.
We've been
changed
trolled.
the map.
Changed the map. I can guess it was 3-1.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
That was. Oh, actually, they did cap that. So we've been deprived of. We've been deprived of some entertainment. Go shit talk both teams.
Yeah,
So
is that 2-3? Was that the final
Yeah.
score? 2-3? Oh wow. They did manage to get one in the end there. I guess we can speculate as to what happened. Do you reckon soldiers fed and then ISO pounded?
I mean, I think so. Like, did one of the teams do Uber before? Like, I think one of the Ubers was probably, Coffee Clocks was probably cringe, and then Aishu cleaned up. Like, from looking at stats here, it's like Aishu and TJ did pretty good. Like, Aishu top damage, top fragged. I mean, a lot of the damage was probably the spy. No, only 450. That's surprising. It's normally a lot higher than
Yeah,
that.
I think it does 3 times your target's health, so it's
Yeah,
150
it
times
used to
3.
be like 6 times, so you would have like one stab for like 2k damage on heavies. But
I mean, yeah.
looking at stats, it's like a pretty tight game, which is basically what we expected. They actually got out damaged and they twice and still won. Probably the most telling thing is that they won every mid. Like, it's hard to lose the game when you win every mid. Like, you have to try pretty hard.
Yeah, I feel it was just the soldier bombs on blue team were just not effective. Like they would either insta die or try to fake it and then have nothing left to do and be on low health, take Varna's heals, and he wouldn't be able to heal, the players that are doing everything in ISO and TJ and Deft. And I feel that
I don't think, and none of the soldiers from the stats look like that. I mean, from the stats, it's basically like, it's kind of like how did they kind of lose that apart from their soldiers didn't get as many kills as red teams.
Yeah, I feel that like Yule in particular was playing pretty well. Like every time he did die, it felt like it was either a trade or he died for a good reason.
Yeah,
Down did manage to get a lot of forces as well. Like he forced basically maybe 1 in 4 times that he jumped in, which is like pretty damn good for soldier.
His jumps to like kill Varna didn't work, but yeah, he forced pretty well. And apart from that, like his general DM was obviously really good. If you get 20 kills on Roma, you're pretty happy.
Yeah, I mean, then that's 20 kills with like no heals.
That's a pretty slow game. He outfragged his scouts as well.
Yeah, well, I mean, Cookie, I felt played really well. I didn't necessarily see a lot from Yui, though, apart from he kept getting caught on the flank, it looks like. Did you see much of what was going wrong in Yui's game?
I was watching Cook. I mean, I don't think he did anything necessarily wrong. It's just kind of one of those games, where it's like not much is happening at all of the time. You're not really going to get in behind too often, just because it was a pretty like Uber-centric game. It wasn't like, I don't think there was much non-Uber kind of fights where you can get in behind and
that's true.
drag hard. A lot of it was just like one team fucked up, lost, and then used their Uber. Other team got Uber, they fucked up, continue 10 times until someone takes last.
Yeah, and I guess like that then will bring us on to our next map, which is a pretty controversial one this season, Kalinka RC5. What's your opinion on this map, Elmo?
I mean, it some of it's bad. Mid is pretty cool, I think. The rest of it I haven't done enough apart from having my head kicked in a bit, so at the moment, I don't really like second much, just because there doesn't really seem like there's anywhere particularly good to fight or hold. Like, we didn't really have much fights there, so it's hard to tell. Lobby seems alright, apart from if you look at second, there's some weird window above it, so it's like you can kind of like
Yeah, so
look
it's
down
like
and shoot.
the lobby area between last and second gives you a height ad to fight second,
Yeah, I
but
mean,
you're not actually
Paulson
holding
said he can
second.
destroy it, that doorway, like since it's just that one window. But Paulson is the doorway destroyer, so. But yeah, it's a
Yeah.
really. I mean, I reckon later versions at least make it like glass, so maybe let you look at second, but I don't think you should
Yeah,
be able to
because
just
it's
walk
it's.
out.
I don't think there are like any other maps where you can passive hold a lobby area yet still have height ad on the point that you're not defending. It seems like a weird choice.
Yeah, I mean, like it's some maps like Snake, it's like you kind of can, but you only have a tiny like doorway to get in and out.
Yeah,
So
and
you,
that doorway is easy
well,
to
this
like
this
become
one, it's like
annihilated.
this one at very least, like the staircase is in a really bad spot. Like it's a tiny staircase, and you haven't even a tiny room to walk up. So you probably could just like trap that side, and when they walk up, you just die. But you have a lot of stuff to trap as well.
Yeah, I mean, this map, like a lot of people aren't screwing this map or aren't screwing this map very often. We do see it for 2 weeks, so we will see it again next week. But how do you reckon these two teams will play on a map that they haven't been scrimming too much? Do you reckon DM becomes much more of a factor, or is it just like
I mean,
who
it
knows the
it
stupidest
definitely
clipping as
does.
Roma?
Like generally, when you have no idea whichever like what you're doing, generally that's the team that's. I mean, and not just DM, but the team that can kind of think faster, generally knows how they should play TF2 will win. But I mean, both these teams know what they want to do in general, like in how what their play style is. I think
Yeah,
mid will be interesting, just because
yeah, I
but
think
both these teams. I mean, my team. So the old game is, I mean, it was a bit of a Merc cringe team, but we got crushed most mids by this team, and then Coffee Clock. I think they'd gone over it a bit as well, and they crushed the what's Mad Men Grand Prix or some shit.
the
The
Hertz
other
team or
meme
whatever it
team, yeah.
is,
Big Chungus, as they were formerly known. Yeah, they crushed them yesterday on this.
the large
So
rabbit.
both teams have figured out something that works. So
Yeah, I think the mid is definitely the strong point on this map. It reminds me a lot of like Cold Front mid or something like that. Like it feels like this map is like a throwback to a lot of things. Like there's a lot of like Yukon in this map as well as Cold Front. Like I think there's a lot of like
yeah,
inspiration.
I got the Cold Front kind of vibes from this. Not that I have actually played it in comp, but from pubs and stuff. I think it's interesting. I think the middle piss off Zollies a little bit, just because the uneven roof with lots of holes and all that, it's a bit awkward.
Yeah, I mean that's what Cold Front has. I mean maybe that's the reason why it kind
Yeah,
of
but
reminds
no
me
one
of it a
plays
lot.
Cold Front, so not exactly a highlight of the map. Saying, yeah, it's
No.
like this map that probably was
Well, I
last
mean,
played in negative
last looks
L2.
like Yukon as well. Like, there's a lot of old map in this, and I think some of that is why it's not liked because it's a lot
It's
of
not.
like
I don't
the.
think it's that close to Yukon, but last was really weird. I we got
Oh, sorry,
destroyed
Cold Front on the
basically.
last. Yeah,
Oh,
Cold Front on
Cold
the
Front,
last.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
Yukon is. Yeah, I don't know where I'm getting Yukon from actually. It's the Cold Front, like the enclosed last. It just feels like corridor map design. It's like.
Well, we started. I think both teams. I think you roll out left apparently, and you kind of end up on the right side of mid
Yeah, in
and
my
staring at each other from far
time
away.
playing this map, that does seem what has happened. Deft actually beats Redcoat to mid
I don't think
pretty
it matters
hard.
though, really. Like, you're so far away, it's kind of like the process. You're so far away, you can't do anything unless you want to forward early, which is kind of hard to do.
Yeah,
Varner's
Varner's committing hard. Yeah, Redcoat gets caught by TJ there. Varner is on their side of mid. Looks like he actually may get caught by two players. Yeah, Cookie and Down both teaming up to get him there. Cookie looks like, oh, Cookie doesn't die in the background. Hits some nice shots. Hits some really nice shots on TJ and Shupa. Lives, gets an arrow from his medic, and it's just Deft leaving with his tail between his legs.
I feel like there should have been a Fratman mid. Like, Def literally walked across the point by himself for ages and just couldn't manage to frag anyone that he was walking at. Like, if he kills the medic or one player, I think they might have won that. But yeah, in the end he doesn't. Varner dies, and then yeah, with the heals clean up.
Yeah, I think actually this is the point that I get Yukon from. It's got that like under point kind of area. That's
Yeah,
I'm
I
just sort of backing up my
kind of
brain
see
here.
this Yukon a tiny bit. Yukon was a pretty bad map too, though. So
I mean, yeah, these comparisons. Neither of these comparisons are helping this map. I feel.
yeah, last will be interesting though, because as I was saying just as they started, this gun back right is pretty strong. Like you can spam it with the flank. Have they not Ubered yet? Oh, they have. They didn't really get any kills apart from Deft Dan. They managed to get their own though. Yeah, that's the thing with this map. You can take top left pretty easy, but it's hard to get the gun, so you kind of need your flank to do that. But there's lots of places to kind of run around from and hide a bit.
Dude, Vana could smell that Yule was still there. He was spamming arrows near where he was. Does actually chase him out with it. But yeah, I mean, yeah, as you say, it seems to be like that kind of top area fight. But yeah, that gun was in a really good spot. Sorry, I did kind of choke on my beer a little bit in that last fight, which is why I was a little silent.
Cookie gets up here and is down behind. Oh, that's a fat feint.
Feint. Yeah,
this should be a clean up. Arnold's really stuck.
Oh,
that's
Yui
a good
coming
kill
in
by
big,
Yui.
actually.
Yui
Yeah, it looks like
somehow
he will
saves
die.
his medic. No, he's still up. Gets pissed
Yeah, there we go.
That was really well played by Yui though. Like
He gets Arnold out. Like,
Arnold was in
lives
10
because of
health
that.
in a corner. Like I'm not sure if Arnold realized he couldn't go that way, but he got stuck in a corner, was able to run back out because Yui pounded, kills TJ, and then bullies away the demo scout before he gets clean.
Yeah, this would be a very different situation right now if Arnold had died, but we do see a sniper actually up on the side of Yule. Is he in spawn? Yeah, he's in spawn right now. Uber gets forced by Down yet again.
Down survives, he manages to get behind. And
does finally die in the end. Yule back spawns eventually. It looks like Vana's backing off to the point. Shupa is going to get caught in this lobby area a little bit, but the Uber is now coming out from Arnold. Cookie is doing cookie things and just slamming people right now. Only Fane gets caught though.
Yeah, well, it wasn't a great Uber in the end, but they won't have that much to be sad. And they'll probably be aggro here in the lobby, I would imagine, and take that or house, whatever.
Yeah, Vana's looks like they're pushing through.
Vana's gonna get caught. Yeah, Vana, for some reason, runs out in front of them. And just,
Yule and Yui both lose their life right now, and Shupa's in a really good spot. Actually, Shupa gets caught by Down, who's just rolling out.
Watching. TJ's going for it as well, gets cleaned up. Yeah, that's the thing with this team though. The problem is once they're, I don't think they're that strong once Vana is down. Like they're not, as it's now known, they're not very good at Xenoing compared to other teams. They're not as good as just going full Mongo brain and just running in, killing everything.
Yeah.
So I mean, feel like once Vana dies, they don't clean up as much as other teams can.
Does Vana main call for this team, or is it Deft?
I think it's iShell. I think he might.
Oh, really?
For,
Vana is stuck in forward spawn right now. Oh no, there we go.
He should just back spawn. They do get the force here. 2 people have died for it though, so they should walk into last here. And there's no gun yet.
Uber isn't up either on any team, so this is a free last right now. Yeah.
There's 2 in top right. TJ finally turns around, but it's a bit late, and they get absolutely crushed.
Yeah, Fane jumps the point, does see what he can do, but unfortunately does die. I just noticed that there is a sick-ass laser above the point, man.
Yeah, but nah, the FPS brightener doesn't really seem to affect it. But yeah, that was based in as Vana, like a tiny bit of indecision and poor positioning just gets walked at by double scouts and they get rolled from there.
Yeah, and we do see actually Deft beating Redcoat again to this mid. Unfortunately, his stickies aren't quite hitting the right spot right now. And we do see Down jumping the height first. Shupa trying to do... Actually, Shupa is really far behind them. Fane actually gets mega owned and has to back out for the pack right now.
He's in a really good position though. Pounce Arnold and Fane cleans him up.
Down super low on top of the point. Does look like he's going to get caught out there.
Might get cleaned here though. Yui's on him, can't finish him.
Shupa gets red code. Shupa is going to take Cookie down too. Nice mid from Shupa there, getting behind and just like chaosing
I feel
really
like
well.
That was kind of this. It was pretty similar to the last mid. Death got heaps of space. This time they were actually able to finish off the medic.
Yeah, I feel neither
mid,
of their soldiers died this time. Both of their soldiers died last mid and could do nothing, and Shupa played real well.
I think Shupa or Fane was on the mid last mid. They just missed, and so he didn't die. While this mid, Fane killed him. And like you said, Shupa survived behind.
Yeah, Super did a lot of work cleaning up like 2 or 3 frags right at the end of that fight. We do see now full out on Varna as they are moving into the last. It gets used nice and early. This gun is not getting cleaned up just yet. Now goes down. They're not focusing the medic here, but they don't need to as all of these frags are falling. Yui, the late spawn on Putis, does get absolutely mulched by that. And that is a very nice full ad push into last Elmo.
Yeah, I feel like the gun was a bit further back than what it was typically is, so Deft could instantly zone in on it and shoot it. Like, if you put it a bit around the corner, it has the same effect, but the demo has to use way more of the Uber to kill it. So basically, the gun, like you said, it was a little bit delayed, but they got it while the Uber was still going, and so they were able to just clean up with the Uber still.
Yeah, we do head into our third mid right now as Deft is playing a very similar mid across the point there, actually hitting some really nice stickies. Yui is taking down really, really low. Fane jumps in, gets nothing. Deft actually does get taken down. Some nice rockets from down as he's just waiting for this arrow from Arnold. Super jumping in, see if he can get anything. Arnold does survive. Arrows down, who lived the whole time, and that is a very clean mid. No deaths on the side of Coffee Clock that time.
A lot more effective mid that time. Like, Deft hit... forgot who you said, Yui it might have been, but Red Coat was absolutely dominating him while he did that, and so he got one rocketed, and then from there they just got bullied back. But yeah, it's a bit interesting. Neither team really seems to be focusing the demos like at all together. Like, it's kind of just they're both standing really close to each together, spamming across the mid.
Yeah, on a new map, I guess it's hard to see where the like overextension line is. I guess like they don't know how far they can go to pressure the demo without just feeding. So I guess it's like they're just trying to feel out where that line is here. But I think, you know, as you say, no one is really going for it right now. So I think they can afford to test the waters a little bit and kind of go for it. But we do see one sack from Fane. I'm not sure if he sacked or if he just got caught out on the side of blue team.
Get the gun. Shooper's on sniper here. Yeah, the thing with this last, it seems kind of hard to sack from anywhere. I would imagine once the gun's gone, it'll be top right.
Yeah, this top right reminds me...
That's a really good surf from He does get forced in the end though, but it will take two
down
of them.
And Yui, down there. This like top right from the defender's perspective reminds me of like old Sunshine Last.
But he does get the force. He should get cleaned up, but that's...
Varna dies. Varna and Aisho both die.
Yeah, Varna can't die there, basically. It was a good play.
Fane's going to get caught here too. He's spamming really hard. Again, that's that weird thing that I was saying. He had height ad while being in no danger.
Yeah. Cookie will clean him up with Red Coat. Cookie does die in the end, but they're kind of leading hard here.
Yeah, Shooper's going to lose his life.
Right at the good time, and TJ the Heavy will clean it up. So in the end, that works out. They probably knew the spawn time is coming, so they could just brawl it.
They're still down.
In the end, though, in the end, though, it doesn't really accomplish too much because Arnold still has enormous, 40% ad.
Yeah, about 40, 30, 40. And it's, it's again, they just have to... Taking this lobby Taking this lobby feels hard, but lobby, like the last itself, if you... Like, it's big. It's like old Sunshine Last.
Yeah, but Barna's built really well, though. He's on 80%, so if he can run through spawn, he might get that. He's not healing anyone, though. He's not healing well. But
90%, yeah, as this Uber fades.
This time they just got the gun. They will get the Uber here, though, Varna. But it might be too little too late. He does Uber. Oh, no, they baited out, essentially, trying to kill TJ. Varna perfectly timed it, essentially, so that if they forced the Uber without hard committing on the Heavy, they probably could have repushed.
Oh my god, that was just nuts from Yule. He was like half health and like managed to kill Super jumping into him on like buffed and still survive. That was wild. That turned around that jump shots there.
So is this... Did Arnold die then, or is it back to like a little ad again?
Yeah, it's a little bit of ad again, about 20 on Arnold right now.
Varna they were building really well apart from that small time. I feel like they need to let us go a bit earlier if they can. Shooper's really forward here. Might get cleaned up.
This that like pipe spot seems really nice to stand on as Soldier. Shooper does get caught out as this Uber comes in. The whole team's in spawn.
Yeah, that's kind of the downside to this like NG heavy on right side play, is that you kind of have to run back into spawn a lot, and then Varna hoping to get his Uber does the same thing. Shooper went aggro before the point play, so he had to do the same thing. So a bit awkward for them. Bit unfortunate doing an EXO in the end.
we do see this next mid play out here as Yule and Cookie are both aggressive on their team's right side here, as the right side itself is being played on the other team's side too. Vana and TJ both kind of scouting this out. Their soldiers are going forward, making some aggression, but Deft actually does manage to get caught out by Down. Down doing some really good damage before he gets cleaned up in the end. And now it's just a scout and demo fight right now, but TJ's in behind. TJ hits massive damage on Arnold, manages to live. Aisho's committing. Oh, gets absolutely skulled by Red
TJ had to finish him there, I think. Oh, they do get
oh
Uber though,
God,
and kills Arnold.
TJ.
That is Orkies.
Yeah,
I think
that
Vana
Uber.
might still die here. No.
They don't
Where's
see
Redcoat?
They don't see Redcoat. He gets a nice sticky on Vana. That's nearly 2 stickies on Vana.
Almost gets rollied, but yeah. In the end, I thought they were losing that, but yeah, they just get the Uber and kill Arnold with it. Because TJ put him on 5 health, and then Aishu tries to help and gets cleaned.
That was a matter of like 1%.
Down's in the
I
corner,
think it was
though.
like 99, 98.
Oh, he drops. Or Vana doesn't have, actually.
No, Vana just used, yeah.
Cookie kind of unnecessarily dies as well for that too, so this will be a hard hold. Yule needs an arrow or he's dead as well. Yeah, he'll die. So that they kind of have to go to last here. Yui and Redcoat look like they want to go, but yeah, surely they can't.
Yeah, this point gets capped. It's their ad though, so they can push out.
It's
just
interesting to see what they do here.
Where do you hide as like the back cap gremlin on this map? I don't know it.
Yeah, the thing is, it's kind of hard if you want to just sit in lobby. It's hard to watch everything, so you probably just. One player has to stay last to hold, and then you can do what TJ does, just run
TJ's
behind.
Feeding last. Yeah,
Down is here. Oh, he does brain Yui a bit though.
Oh
There's
my god,
2v2
Yui comes back. TJ's in, but he doesn't see Yui.
Arnold dropped or died?
97. Yeah, he didn't drop, but it was
97.
damn close.
Oh, he died last 98% of that.
Yeah, that's 2 deaths
depressing.
within like a bee's willy of Uber.
Yeah, Redcoat almost dying there. Vana hasn't been living up to my expectations with the crossbow frags quite yet.
He's been putting them out there. I see him spamming it. It just doesn't seem to be hitting right.
Nice shots.
Oh yeah, good movement from Vana to not take too much damage there, because that was a pretty enclosed area. But yeah, Down unfortunately does lose his life there.
Yeah, huge ad though here. They should be able to take second for free. That's the thing. Second's a bit of an awkward point, it seems. It's a bit of a reckoner where it's hard to really fight much. You're gonna die necessarily there as well. Doesn't really accomplish much. And only a level 1 gun up. This should be pretty easy. They haven't actually killed anyone. They've taken.
And there's
good
no point presence either though.
Yeah.
When like Def looks like he's gonna get caught out by Down right at the end.
Because they're kind of stuck in spawn.
Yui going large. Yui going so large. Oh,
Vana
Vana
does kill him, but Yui wins the round for them. He got a triple kill. Not sure how much D he did, but it doesn't matter when you get a triple kill by yourself.
They were all low, but yeah, that was a big moment from Yui there, coming in clutch for his team as they do cap up this second point and have about 90% to look, let's just say full ad as they head in towards mid now. Not sure where the best place to push from second into mid is, but it looks like they're just jumping forward really aggressively, seeing if they can catch Vana.
Here, like he's or even sitting there arrowing, but both solis have died, so it should be a free mid. Vana's not close to Uber, and him and Deft are really aggressive.
Redcoat could get caught here. Redcoat is super low. No, does get that arrow. We do.
It would have been a bit unfortunate, just some spam. Yeah, they don't actually have that much ad here, and they're already all the way back at second. Like, they have 30% or so, but they're not even trying to hold lobby. They must know though, yeah, they're starting to come forward. But I would imagine as long as they build here, they should be able to get the fight.
Yeah, and here it comes. They've got their Uber. They're pushing in through this right side. Aisho is taking a lot of damage.
Down is going to force. Yule does die as well though, so it'll be a bit awkward to fight. Yeah,
2 soldiers down right now. Deft and I'm actually really interested to see Aisho's damage taken stat, because he's getting like owned this map and last map. Here he is trying to take a fight behind as the Uber comes out.
Yui goes huge though. Like he wins the 1v1. The Soli's behind him and he meat shots him and then he kills himself. Yui on fire last couple this round at least, keeping them in it.
Yeah, and
they
that was
do,
basically a wipe as
yeah,
well
they
from
do
blue
get the
team.
force here, so it is a bit of a kind of reset a little. Even though they're just going to go for it, even though everyone's up. I'm not sure about this one, but they're pretty far back. Deft is also isolated.
Yeah, looks
Cookie
like
gets
Yule
wrecked
may get
though.
caught out.
That,
Yeah, Yule.
yeah.
Oof. Yeah,
Yeah, that
big,
was
big
really
from Deft.
huge rockets from. That was more the Solis basically. That they both hit fat rockets, and then Def cleaned. Down going for a play. That's an interesting bomb. He gets.
Oh my god, he gets
4.
him!
Down's big bombs.
Timing, man. That was
That's
really
Tempest,
smart.
man. Absolute Tempest gamer.
Yeah,
That's a cold front frag if I've ever seen one. That doorway, you know, where you can jump from one side to the other.
Oh yeah, that was.
Have you
Yeah.
seen the medic bomb get the frag doing that? It's pretty fat.
Not for a long time at the very least.
Yeah, it's
But
really old. They should fight this a little. I don't really like this from. They seem to do this a lot where they're fine with giving up points. They don't really go for too much. Super is behind there, but I mean, you kind of need to be going for the medic at that point. Like even if you trade there, it's not really too worth it for your team. You need to
Deft
be
is,
trying to go for the med.
Where's Deft's trap? He's watching something
on the
smart.
point or
Oh, he
something?
does a lot of damage to Soldier and Scout at the same time just there. Does back out. I think he must have dead his trap or something.
Yeah, but once they're just gonna like they have Uber here, don't they? Or they basically they would
yeah,
have.
Varna's at 90.
They are just gonna go for this still. This might be a bit forky. At least they used really late.
Yeah, and there's no... Yeah, the Uber does actually get used. Varna saves Deft at the very end there. Aisho chasing pretty hard. Might get caught out for it. No, does manage to back off in time.
I'm not sure if that was a war midi or not, but Fane is a
nice
shot.
rocket at the very least, yeah.
I mean, they get the Uber and that gets them the win, but I still don't see why. They basically let them get 2 points for free without trying anything. Like, there's basically no downside to someone dying at second when you're going to get... Like, he basically would have been up by the time that Uber trade ended, and they would have been fine, I think. Or if they realize...
They're just trying to reset on second right now. They know the Ubers are even, and looks like there's no like lobby holder or anything coming out from them right now, as it does seem that Coffee Clock are starting to take this lobby area. Shipper is standing on this little gremlin box. Gonna see if he can get anything if people try to poke their head through, but they choose to push the other way. Does engage with Down and actually trades right at the very end. Both Ubers are now out. It's fading on the side of red team.
An arrow and he's gonna get it.
Really nice from Aisho and TJ here. TJ does get caught out right at the end.
Probably should have died. Gets a bit lucky and doesn't. But yeah, Redcoat kind of new map runs into a wall. It happens to all of us, and yeah, they get cleaned from that.
Looks like, yeah, they're fighting really hard. Looks like the scout
crazy.
here is on...
Yeah,
yeah, unfortunately nothing there.
They're gonna shoot this now. They know Aisha's dead. They can't really cap here. Def should die here. Yeah, he gets a bit let out to dry. That they probably, once Aisha dies there, they know TJ's not up. You have to run away. They shouldn't be trying to hold. I think more of them might get cleaned up. Shooper's, yeah, gonna unfortunately die.
Fane trying his best to live right now, does walk back into the lobby. Looks like he's going to try to get an arrow from his medic right now.
Yeah, but the thing is they're just bleeding though. Like literally, Aisha was the only one doing a positive play there. Like the other two that died basically just lost them the second. They weren't even doing anything. Like if
Yui's in so deep right now, only just dies. Down actually dies as well.
Sack. So that's a bit aggro. I'm not sure this is the map you can hold. With
Definitely
just 3 up. It's not a typical one where it's basically a tiny doorway like Granary, where you can sack the whole team.
TJ's getting baited real hard by his team right now.
That was a silly play. Cookie gets exactly what he wants there. Like exactly what he wants. He's even going to kill Fane. That's really poor.
He's going to get Def too. Def gets caught. No way he lives here. Oh my god, Def gets out. Nice arrow from
Yeah, they should
Varna.
still win the round here. There's no gun. It's 6v3. Redcoat literally just needs to shoot stickies kind of near the point and right click in the win.
Yeah, and
which is what happened.
Indeed, we have 3-1 in the favor of Coffee Clock. Although we saw a turnaround, you know, one quick round right at the end of process just then. There is 9 minutes left. This is definitely doable for them. Don't know the exact timings on this map, but 9 minutes is easily enough for 2 rounds.
Yeah, that was just a lot of sloppiness. Like Def dies and Super dies, so they couldn't fight second like at all, like at that mid. and then same thing at that kind of last. Cookie does the exact single he wants in pounds, because TJ gets abandoned a bit, and then they still single as fade bombs. A bit of miscommunication there from
Yeah, it
Bradman.
feels like either they were slow or TJ was fast. Either way, there was a disconnect there. Fane jumping forward gets absolutely mulched, and while that's happening, Redcoat and Down are just like really far in them. 2 scouts now walking forward. TJ dies, Cookie does get traded out though, but it looks like Vana,
well.
yeah, Vana not living.
Yeah, that time, the same kind of thing happens. Both demos are like in that kind of, they just jump on the floor and start spamming across mid, and Redcoat just takes opportunity to kill Def. And then from there, it just, yeah, all goes bad. Like, Down was able to clean up iShell. Fane tried to do the same thing to Redcoat, but Redcoat was basically full health. He didn't get pressured at all. So I think they need to change their approach mid a little bit. Like, Redcoat is basically getting free reign at these mids, while I feel like he's bullying Deft a little bit, because Deft is for other players.
Yeah, I think that's true as well. The soldiers are being way more effective on red team as well. Feels like the soldiers that jump in don't really get anything done on blue team, unfortunately. Or the pyro unfortunately picks the wrong side to play, and the Uber actually comes in through the right door. Points now being played. Oh, Yui actually does die. I show here.
They just kind of went on that in front of everyone. Like, the heavy was still up, Solly was standing next to it, and they kind of just ran past him. So yeah, bit of a misplay there. They probably could have just, if they went for frags instead of trying to cap it. Arnold's still somehow alive. This is really bad if he dies at this point. Aishu might, Aishu, like
17 health. That was tight.
Delaying your death is really bad, but if you choke and he doesn't die, then it's awful for your own team. They do almost have here though, and they've been pretty aggressive. Vana does Uber. Arnold probably would have died anyway, so that they might be able to clean this up, do a bit of a Xeno. Yule's in that high spot. They do trade out.
This is so well played from the soldiers right now. Down and Yule just did so much for their team. This is quickly turning into a pretty sloppy fight. Looks like Aisho might get the better of Cookie in this little duel. It's very awkward underneath the point. Yeah, Aisho does beat him. Yeah,
but yeah, they'll take that 100%. Like, they get the kill on Arnold.
TJ's fighting. TJ's gonna delay this point. He's definitely killing Yui.
Yeah, they weren't capping that, but they won't care. They had basically full disad, and Arnold died instantly. But they're able to Xeno. They all kind of scramble, hide, kill players that aren't Ubered, and then you basically have a typical kind of DM shit fight, which all the coffee clock should be pretty happy with doing. Like, they're all at least as good DM wise.
Yeah, definitely.
Down might die here. He's gonna get chased. Yeah, that's a good shot by Shupa. And that, with 5 minutes left, that should be start looking for something. Like, they need a sack here at least. Like, you have 5 minutes left.
Yeah, they need to make a move. Like, it's 20% disad, but like, Ubers aren't in play. Like, you should definitely make a move. Yui's low.
That's huge. Brilliant play from Fane.
TJ's gonna beat Yui on the flank here too, surely. Oh no, and the flank collapse is coming in. Down's hitting some fat rockets. TJ goes down, Deft goes down, but Yule and that get traded out there. It's now just Yui trying to force something on the second point. On about, that arrow comes in.
He will get cleaned up, but yeah, he did the job there. Instead of them getting that mid, they'll be able to at least sack for that. Yeah, that's what they needed to do. They baited them into lobby a bit, and then Fane does a nice bomb round. Varda's gonna get forced here. No one's watching, right? Yeah, the misplay there that they think they have to rush, and so they make a mistake trying to take it kind of 3v5 at mid, and Cookie just runs in because you can't watch everywhere when you're only 3 up, best 5.
They do get the mid, but yeah, now this is 70 Uberad or in favor of Arnold. And they are just going to repush this fairly easily. But yeah, I mean, it was definitely a really good play from Yui, pulling those players behind. Again, as you say, causing that turnaround. Now it resets them full ad into mid. Looks like they're trying to make that move now onto the right side from their perspective. They get it pretty much for free. Redcoat spams out everyone.
Once again, they don't do anything. Like, there's 4 minutes left here. You can't just keep trying to say, okay, we'll win these even Uber exchanges when you've been losing them all game. Like, you need to do that play that you did in that lobby again. Go for something that they're not expecting. like that they have here, but it's like, okay, there's 4 minutes left. Coffee Clock can do whatever they want. They're going to go for an aggro play still, which is a bit surprising.
Oh, the distraction from Yule comes in the rear. Unfortunately, doesn't manage to hit too much damage on Varna, but the Uber is forced out really early on Varna there. Looks like he's getting caught too behind. Yeah, now the Uber is just fading on red team. Looks like blue team are going to see if they can refight it. Two scouts, no, they changed their mind as Redcoat has that doorway locked down. They are pushing last with two-player ad.
Basically, you don't want to be singling or kind of even Ubering into Cookie. Cookie will eat you up all day doing that shit. He can't flank scout, but he can trade Ubers like a beast. Like, you're just letting him win when you do that instead of doing other aggressive things. And at this point, they kind of just have to fight.
Yeah, and they all come out nice, stickies and rockets from Yule.
They come
Yule
out
gets
probably
an arrow
the worst
too.
doorway. Varna somehow survives. Or Redcoat walks in and frags him. And
But there's a point play. Yeah, there we go.
Def was the only one alive. They kind of had to go for that one. I mean, it was a bit not. I think they could have done that better. That time they probably could have walked out that top part. Because a roller door into the team is probably the worst spot you can go.
Yeah, it looks like we're slowly entering dead time right now, as I think Yule is actually rolling out Pootus to this mid.
Yeah, that's a bit of a end of the pug Yule. Gone into toxicity mode right here.
Here comes the fight. He's committing. He gets insta-mulched by two scouts and a soldier.
That's about how it works in the pugs as well, honestly.
And it looks like, yeah, they've definitely not won this fight. Redcoat very low. Arnold's still taking damage as they run away there. Redcoat dies on point. Arnold does live.
Arnold does survive though, so I mean, might be. I mean, 3 rounds is probably impossible, but all the points counts, boys. When we go and beat Coffee Clock 5-0 next week, they'll wish they hadn't thrown those rounds, you know.
I look forward to seeing that one. But yeah, we do see, again, even Ubers though, due to Arnold surviving, so they do actually opt to trade it in.
They have to. It's not going to work though, this is not our kind of trade map. I was bullied into it in our scrim, did not work. Ashu's wasted like so much time. How is he alive? Action beast, but yeah, in the end, you can't trade into a heavy on this map, you're going to get crushed.
Yeah, Yui showing that his heavy play is better than Yule's. I think just showing off a little bit too much there. We do have just about a minute left here as they are only 2 up. No, they just got some spawns. Not very many players up on the side of Ratmen right now, as this is definitely dead time right now. How do you reckon this map played out at sort of this higher level kind of play here, Elmo?
I think it's basically Coffee Clock basically ran the game. Apart from like the 2 mids, they lost. They basically everything essentially went to plan. You know, like Cookie basically when they had to, they just singled. When they were down was able to get in, do stuff, forces, that kind of thing. Or Yui would bring people back, get a couple of flank frags, that kind of thing, pull them back. So it basically went to plan, because in the end, most of the fights, they ended up being kind of a trade between Cookie. And Cookie trades work most of the time, because Cookie is good at trading. And they are going to hold last year again, so they don't end up throwing any rounds, which is good on them. They decided not to go to a 3rd map and fuck us over like last map, appreciate that.
Yeah, but I mean...
But yeah, I think the scout, it felt kind of like the scouts and Deft. I don't think the Solis had their best games from what's it called, Ratmen. I think they could have been a bit more aggressive, but I don't really think that was the problem. It was mainly just the trades they got cleaned up on, and the scouts got healed a lot, but didn't really provide enough. Like, if look at the stats, 23% heals. Aishu did pretty good damage. TJ, on the other hand, took 1,500 more damage than he did, which on Scout is like kind of extraordinary. Or I'm looking at an old round? that last round anyway. So
Yeah, but I mean, like, Aisho still took so much damage. He took the most damage on blue team
yeah,
there.
he took a lot. Look, poor Deft kind of got outplayed there. I don't think it was all his fault. A lot of that was basically just their singles went awfully, or their even Ubers went awfully, and he just got cleaned up. As well as the mid, win two of them, but like a lot of those Deft kind of got left out to dry. Or their strategy was he shoot other people, and then Redcoat kind of just killed him. But yeah, look how many kind of frags Yui and Cookie got there as well. They went big. We didn't get too many heals for that either. And
Yeah,
Redcoat
I
kind of did his
feel
thing.
the comparison between the scouts on this map, like, sure, Aisho did a lot of damage, but TJ and Aisho both, like, weren't getting the frags. It felt like they
Yeah,
just,
but
like, died
if
all
you're
the
gonna take
time.
almost 50% heals, like you basically have to dominate the game. Like you need stats at least as good as last map, basically, and it just kind of didn't happen. Deft kind of got a bit owned because of that as well.
Yeah, and I feel that there just wasn't, like, that level of protection on Varna as well, compared to when Down was trying to jump in the previous map on Process. Like, he would just get annihilated. Like, sure, he got a lot of forces out, but he died to scouts every time. Whereas this time, I don't know if it was just because they didn't know where to look, because it's just like doorway central, but like he got in and did so much more without getting fragged by scouts this time. Like, I feel he lived a
Yeah,
lot more. He still died a lot. Like, I think he died the most on the server, but
yeah,
like I
Down.
felt like it was like it wasn't necessarily to scouts, whereas he was just getting anti-aired hard last round.
Yeah, I think Ratman need to do something different as well when they're down from Uber. Like basically that their strategy is just run away until you get Uber, and then hope you don't get sacked or hope they make a mistake. Like teams like Coffee Clock probably aren't going to make too many mistakes where that's going to work every single time. So when you're losing mids, you have to have a better strategy for when you're down Uber, and it just, especially on this map, it just kind of wasn't there.
Do you feel that that was because of the map or because of team play?
I think it's more team play. Like I don't think the way the map went down is really any different from most maps. Like the flow of the play was still the same. Sometimes you had add, sometimes you had disadd, sometimes it was even. That happens on every map, not just this map. It might have been they didn't know where to sack from or where to trade, but I mean, Coffee Clock probably didn't really know that either. It's just more Cookie knows when to do it and when not to. While it kind of didn't work out for Aisha or TJ. Both of them got heaps of heal.
Yeah, well, I mean, we'll see more of this map next week. I'm not sure who's going to play on it, who will end up
We're
casting
versing
rather.
Coffee Clock, so yeah, be interesting.
That's the game to cast, you reckon?
I mean, Mad Men versus Right Men next week as well, or have they
We'll
versed? I don't think they have.
yeah, maybe we'll see if we can get another twofer in the next couple of weeks, just to get as much Kalinka as we can. But yeah, I mean, is there
Yeah,
anything
Mad
else
Men
you?
Grand Prix versus Right Men and Tog versus Coffee Clock. Yeah, that'll be two fat clinker games.
Yeah, maybe we try for the old double R next week. But yeah, I mean, is there anything else you wanna say about the game tonight before we start tidying things up? I guess.
I'm happy we got to watch two close games went to time. So always good to
Yeah,
see. And
I
yeah,
definitely feel Process was way closer. I felt like they knew their way around that map a little bit more. But like, I don't know, when watching this game, it felt like way less hard than when you're playing Kalinka. I don't know. I guess we'll see it we'll see how it sort of fares out next week. But like, it seems rough to play, but it like didn't seem too hard to watch, if that makes sense. I'm keen to see what happens next week on this map.
hmm. Well, Kalenko is definitely a bit more open, which is always good. It's always good for watching. It's a bit hectic when playing and can be a bit annoying when where did this idiot come from? Just teleported through some spot I didn't know existed, that kind of thing. Well, process is obviously a bit more of a known quantity, so that should happen a bit less often. So that leads to stalemates, which is a bit more less frustrating, or can be frustrating for players, but it's more you know what's happening. while when it's more open, it's better for viewers. But yeah, random stuff happens, and that obviously pisses people off. Yeah, Yui saving that round though was pretty much a turning point. Like it could have been a lot different if it was 2-2, and they could have just kept doing what they're doing.
Yeah, I think so too. And it was just 3 quick frags. Like as you say, the game did turn around in that like second, essentially, as those 3 frags fell. But yeah, I mean that's kind of what happens when you have scout players of that kind of caliber on your team who can just like pull out things like that, which is always good to see.
But just another, but both maps had the exact same kills for both teams in the end. I mean, I know the last round on Kuka was a bit of a fat meme as well as process, but still, it's pretty interesting.
Yeah, and I mean both medics played pretty much the same as well, despite 4 more deaths on the side of Varna. I mean, like 4 more deaths when you're losing by 3 rounds rather is not the end of
Yeah, I
the
mean
world.
that's not worse. It's just it was either I think it was the first round where he died and they lost, or it was either that or 2-1. That was a bit unfortunate, and just those kind of sloppy mistakes more than general bad play. Just that tiny mistake leads them to losing. I think that was basically the only noticeable one from Varna. And yeah,
Yeah, he
Arnold
definitely
2
moved
drops
well.
first map. Bit unfortunate, but yeah, they weren't in like the worst situation, so they were able to overcome them.
Yeah, all right. Well, I mean, if you don't have anything else to say, I reckon it's a good time to start wrapping things up. Are you happy with everything?
Yep, all good boys. Keen to might cast the other game next week, but keen to see 2 good games of TF2 next week on this new epic map that all the haters can in-chat can fuck off. Love ozfortress admins. Good. Love you, Thermite and Catfish. Hope you ban everyone that complains. You have my seal of approval.
Awesome. Well, I guess that does it for tonight. Any shout outs here, Elmo?
Shout out to the glorious ozfortress admins and to both teams for a solid game, as well as Core. Love you.
Awesome. Well, shout out to both teams tonight. Shout out for Core on production. Shout out Elmo for casting with me. It's been a good night. We'll be back with hopefully another couple of games next week, maybe another this week. I don't know what the plan is with that, but we're trying to sort of up our output this season, which is pretty cool. But yeah, thanks guys for tuning in. We'll definitely be back with some more Australian TF2 action here on TF Live. We'll see you all in the next broadcast.
See
Catch ya.
you. Bye.